Hello friends and welcome to the Southern Mountain Kitchen. Today we're going to make Cheddar Bay Biscuit fried chicken tenders. So everything you see on my counter is what we're going to use to make this. And I know you probably heard of Cheddar Bay Biscuits. They come from Red Lobster, but you can get the box at the store. We're actually going to use that to bread our chicken. And this is going to give it such an amazingly cool taste. And you don't have to add anything more than what is in this box. So they're going to have like some kind of a powdery mix in here, which is basically like flour with some other things added to it. And then there's a seasoning packet. And we're going to use both things. But you don't have to add anything else. And we're using 4 chicken breasts, which mine are kind of medium sized. When you cut these up, we're going to end up with at least 12 tenders out of this, which is really good. And then there's a bunch of seasoning and everything going into this just to make this have such an amazing taste. Because when you eat these, you will want them again because it just tastes that good. There's just something about the breading from this Cheddar Bay biscuit mix that tastes so good. So we're going to start cutting up our chicken. So we're going to go ahead and remove all of the fat from it because nobody wants to bite into a tender and have a hunk of fat on it. And then we're going to actually go through the breast and just cut off any tough pieces. Now, be careful when you're cutting your breasts up because I have cut into one of these before and literally found a bone in it, and there's just no way I ever want to hear about one of you guys hurting yourself by eating a piece of chicken that had a bone in it. Just check for these things because it's just really not a great thing. And I'd hate to hear of the problem with it. So just be careful when you go through, check the edges. There's one side of the breast that's kind of tough usually when it's cut because I think it's where the two breasts meet together. You want to cut that off just to make sure that you don't have that tough edge to it as well. And we're just going to go through and cut these. Now mind you, as I said, I have like medium sized chicken breasts here. If you had larger ones, you could probably get more tenders out of it than about 3 of them. Which if you had a really large breast, you could go like 4 or 5, and that's going to be a lot more of these. The best thing about this is the biscuit mix that you're going to use for the breading on the outside of this, literally there's enough there to coat like several breasts. I mean, if you had 4 large ones, maybe even a 5th one, you could use it on that and it'd still be enough. And that way you're feeding a lot of people out of this. And the best thing about it is if you just throw in just like some vegetables or fries or something, potatoes, whatever with this, you got a really great meal. And it's a really wonderful thing to have. So just a hint for the future though, you're going to need a large skillet to cook these in. Make sure you have one handy, and you're going to need some oil because we're going to put enough oil in there to where there's about an inch of oil in the pan to cook these. So we want to make sure you have those ahead of time. We're not going to go straight to that, but it pays to have them on hand and have them ready to go when you're ready to do this. And as you can see, I'm cutting up my last breast here, and out of this I got 12, and these are 12 good sized tenders to eat, which is really good because, you know, 3 really big tenders is quite a lot for a person to eat. So once we get these all cleaned up and completely done, we're going to move on to the next step of this. So in a large bowl, I am going to put in 2 eggs because I want to go ahead and start the coating that's going to go on the outside of this chicken that's going to hold the actual breading on. So once we have the 2 eggs in there, we do want to break open those yolks and mix them up a little bit. And just go ahead and mix those through with a whisk until they are totally mixed, just like you were scrambling eggs for scrambled eggs. And then once we get that done, we're going to move on to adding other things to this. Now, I'm going to add hot sauce to this. This is not going to make this really spicy, but it's going to give it a little spice. And I'm doing like 4 shots or so in this. You could do more if you really want this to be spicy. Mix that into your egg before we move on to the next step. And just as we go along, you want to really mix this together to get everything incorporated. And then we're going to add 1/3 cup of milk. And then again, mix this up a little bit so that way everything goes through. Then we're going to add 1 tablespoon of Parmesan cheese. And then after that, we have 2 tablespoons of minced garlic going into this. And this is just, again, going to help this chicken taste so good because this is going to cook into the outside with the breading when you're actually putting this in to fry it. And then after this, we have some seasonings. Now, each one of these is a 1/2 teaspoon. We have salt, pepper, paprika, and onion powder. So that's a 1/2 teaspoon of each of those. And then we're going to mix this in. The best thing about putting these into the milk and egg, it's going to help coat the outside of the chicken. But we're also going to put the chicken in this and let it like marinate for a while. Just basically soak up a lot of the flavor that's in this. And that's something that's really great because we want it to have the taste of the milk and everything going with the eggs and the seasoning and all just sitting in it for a while. So on a platter, what we're going to do is we're going to put the Cheddar Bay biscuit mix onto the platter itself. And then we're going to open up the little seasoning packet that's in there. It's like a little tiny packet. And we're going to go ahead and break that open, put it over top. And once we get that on there, then we're going to add about 1/5 of a cup of parsley on top of this. So get that all on there, and then we're going to mix this all together because we want to make sure that all of that distributes from the seasoning packet and the parsley. So at least we have a good chance of getting this all over the chicken when we go to actually roll it in this and dredge it through. So once we get this done, we're going to move back to our chicken in a second because we're going to get our chicken into that wet mix to let it marinate for a while. So once this is done here, we move over. Now, when you are soaking your chicken in the liquid mix, you can do this from anywhere from as little as like 10 to 15 minutes to a half an hour to an hour, whatever you like to do with it. If you're going to have it soaking for a long time, probably put some plastic over top of your bowl and stick it into the refrigerator. But in the meantime, if you're only doing it for like 15 minutes, 20 minutes, you can do it just like this. We're just going to drop all these chicken tenders in and get them really soaked. Now with mine, I left it for about 20 minutes after I got them all in, just to let them sit there to get some of this flavoring on them, because all that seasoning is going to work together and it's going to be really great. So make sure that your chicken gets underneath of the line of the liquid and everything is really coated. And then you literally can just let this sit. But like I said, if you really don't have the time and you don't want to wait a long time, do it for 10 minutes. And at least at that point, you've gotten something in there. Then what we're going to do is we're going to take the chicken out and we're going to actually just roll it around, dredge it through the biscuit mix. And then we're going to bring it back over, wet it again, and do it one more time. And we're going to do this for each one of these pieces because we want to get them really coated. So go ahead and just make sure you get a good coating on the outside of this, because this is going to give it a really crusty outside, but it's also going to give it a little bit of crunch to it as well when it's cooking. So that's a wonderful thing to have them like this. Just a reminder though, when you're cooking something like this and you fry it in oil, don't remove it and put it on a plate with paper towels, or it's going to make it soggy. Put a rack over a plate and just lay them over top of that, so that way the oil can drip out and you still got a crispier outside to your chicken, and it just works a lot better. So as we go along here, just get each one of these coated. We want to make sure that we get an even coating on all of them. And like I said, there's a lot of this mix here, so this is going to coat everything we need. But in the meantime, as I said before, we're going to have to get ready with that large skillet in a moment, and you're going to need your cooking oil. So let's make sure that we have that on hand and ready to go. Now, one thing you need to remember, when you put your oil in your skillet, we want to get the temperature heating up as we're putting the oil in. So you can put that skillet on there for just a minute or so before you even get to the oil, because we want the skillet to be hot, and that way the oil goes in and starts heating as well. But as I said before, you're going to put in at least an inch of oil. And then when you put your tenders into this, we don't want to overcrowd it. You just want to put enough into where they've got room to move. So this means you're going to do this more than once. You're going to do a whole pan of these and then come back and do another pan, because we really want some cooking room in here, so that way the oil moves all around the outside and has a chance to cook. Now, these are going to cook at least 8 minutes or so. And what we're going to do is we're going to cook them for about 4 minutes and then flip them over and look at them to make sure how brown they are, because you can flip them again after this. But we want to make sure that these are really browning, and you're going to get to a temperature of 165 inside if you're using a thermometer on this to check it. And we just want a really good golden brown going on. So we're just going to cook this, like I said, at least 8 minutes or more, depending. If you haven't got to temperature, let them cook some more. But when you're doing this, you're on medium-high heat, so it's not going to like totally burn them up if you let them sit for a few minutes. It's not like we're turning this completely to high to begin with. But as you can see, when I'm picking mine up and these are done, these are really golden brown. They have a great look to them, and they've cooked really well. And that's the best part about it, is once you get them really cooked, you can tell just by looking at them for the most part. But check them with the thermometer, get to 165 degrees. And this is just something that, you know what, it's not hard to do. You just have to pay attention to it as it's cooking. And it's such a great thing. And when mine was done, this is what mine looked like. I served it with some biscuits and some green beans, and this had such an amazing taste, and I think you'll like it. I hope you liked this video, and if you did, please like and subscribe. And if you get a chance, check out the Southern Mountain Kitchen website, where you can get a free recipe, check out the cookbooks available from the Southern Mountain Kitchen, and if you'd like to, you could order a cookbook at a discounted price, cheaper than Amazon, with shipping that is also cheaper than Amazon. So if you get a chance, check it out, and I hope you have a great day.